Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Fans running to the fences, side by side. Forge gets a better line.
Oh boy, we got wheel to wheel right here. Strang. Oh, and Stu Baylor right behind him.
Russell gonna try to dive bomb down to the inside. No, can't get the line he wants. Duvall is in control. We open back up. Here comes Neal once again. He's going for the pass. Oh, the bumping going on.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Split Line Off-Road Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rodney Cooper, and with me today, as always,
Brandon White here, guys. What is going on? It's going to be a good one tonight.
going to be a good one tonight. Nobody in the guest seat tonight.
Means more work for us.
More work for us. We can't rely on them anymore. Episode 077 coming at you guys. We are excited to be back to be talking about some GNCC John Penton action. It was a pretty good week of racing, Brandon, and we finally got to make it out to one.
Yes, we did. It was awesome.
It was a great time that we had.
Hot.
It was hot. It was hot. That's why we stayed in the woods a lot. What's up, Doug Kirk, David Hawkins? Thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate you guys, as always, staying in the chats and talking it up. If you guys wouldn't mind, share this video. I'm going to start saying that, Brandon. Just share it. Share the video.
Click that little heart over there.
Yeah. If you like it, let's go.
Share
Guys.
the crap out of it.
Before we get going, we got to thank our awesome sponsors. We got to thank Guts Racing. Since 1985, Guts has been the best seat covers and the best seat foam in the business. Andy Gregg and the guys over at Guts Racing make a top-of-the-line product, and if you guys don't have it on your bike, you should. It is starting to take the ATV XC line by storm.
Yeah.
All those guys are starting to run Guts. It's pretty cool to see.
That's awesome, yeah.
It's pretty cool to see. We gave one away last week. We'll be giving one away here soon again. Seal Savers, since 21 years ago, they've been the first and original fork protection out there. If you need protection for your mountain bike, for your dirt bike, for your ATV, for those coil savers, they got you covered. Guys, it was muddy out there.
Yes, it was.
It was muddy in the John Penton.
Oh, man. Sunday was a nasty, muddy-looking thing.
Yeah, I saw a few sets of Seal Savers out there, but you need to see more. Those guys over there are doing a great job at making some awesome products to keep your machines protected, to keep all of the money that you put into those shocks worthwhile.
Yeah.
And it helps. It does help. Brandon, you've been running it all year.
Been running them all year, man.
Yep. So make sure you guys do that. And you guys can buy anything on Seal Savers website for 25% off by using the discount code SPLITLINE with a capital S. So go over to Seal Savers, use that discount code. We also got to thank Sunstar Chain and Sprockets. Brandon, what are they made of?
Case hardened steel, man.
Case hardened steel. They are the best in the business. Doug Kirk and the boys over there at Sunstar taking over the world.
Yes, they are, man.
We're going to be giving not one, but two Sunstar chain and sprockets. Doug, I apologize again.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. It was supposed to be just chains, but I said chain and sprocket. And Doug is so cool that he just
he backed you up.
He backed me up.
He didn't even put you out on the spot.
Didn't even blow me out.
If I was him, I probably would have. I'm like, dude, come on.
We're giving two sets away tonight. Not thanks to me, thanks to Doug.
That's right.
Thanks to Sunstar Chain and Sprockets.
Kind of thanks to you. You just kind of threw it out there, you know?
Yeah, but if you guys don't win the ones tonight, you can go over there to their website and save 30% off by using the discount code SPLITLINE30. So make sure you guys check that out. Support the brands that are supporting this show and supporting the sport. We got to thank XC Gear. XC Gear, we're going to be giving a Mako 360 away tonight.
Woo, baby.
Brandon's getting the randomizer ready.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on.
We're gonna be giving one of those away tonight to a lucky player of the fantasy game. That's how you win prizes in this podcast. You play our fantasy game. It's a lot of fun, and we give away some pretty sweet prizes. This week was 2 Sunstar chain and sprockets and an XC Gear Mako 360. Best bar clamps in the business. You can have the 3 different colors of stiffness in the bar clamps. And I tell you what, man, top of the line product. You could have the Hammerhead 360 for the mountain bike. Doug Kirk has that, and he says it is amazing.
Yeah.
He said he won't ride a mountain bike without it. I need to get it because you know how I am, Mr. Mountain Bike over here.
And your hands are sensitive, kind of.
My hands are a little sensitive.
A little bit.
Get out of here, man. And then we also got to thank Mountain State Hare Scrambles. We're going to be racing this weekend in Masontown. Top of the line race series. If you guys want a technical race series that helps develop your skills, go no further than Mountain State Hare Scramble. Check out their website to find their schedule and just go out there and ride. Top of the line hare scramble in West Virginia, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
awesome people and awesome series.
Yep.
So let's get into the show, Brandon. Episode 77.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good one. Just to throw it up there, the 9-hour race is coming up, and it's July 10th, right? Or 11th?
July 9th, I believe.
July 9th.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
so I just want to throw it out there. If you guys want to put a team in, I know the purses.
Purse keeps rising.
The purse keeps rising for all different classes. So
the pro purse is $6,000 right now. Yeah, Hardcore Harvey and all those guys over there. I believe Kenda is the main sponsor of that. They're doing a great job. It's really cool to see a race like that come to the East Coast. You might even see a split line team out there. I don't know yet. We know it's not going to have.
No, I'll be most likely. I'll be out of full gas. And speaking of full gas, that's where I'll be this weekend down in Beckley, West Virginia.
Yeah,
but back to the 9-hour.
9 hours. Teams of 3 people, and Jeff Harvey announced it on his show last night, so I might as well announce it on our show tonight that we are actually going to be having a purse of our own. It's going to be a $600 purse. They're trying to figure out where they want to put purses, like what classes and whatnot. Right. If there's enough people to cover classes, then we might just do the overall amateur. That way they can get an extra $600.
Right.
But we wanted to get involved with that and support the sport and support you guys.
Support ATV racing.
And it's not going to be the last purse this year that Split Line is putting out.
Right. We're working on
something else.
Yeah.
We're working on something else. That's why we don't have enough money to pay ourselves because we just But hey, speaking of money, we bought a ton of T-shirts.
We did.
And I got a message today that they just shipped out today.
Oh man.
I'm going to try to get them to Ronnie and I'm sorry, we'll try to get them.
Ronnie,
I was looking here on the comments. We'll try to get them to Richie over at Mount State Hare Scramble, so that way they can have them in their merchandise department this weekend at this race.
Right.
But if I don't, hit me up. I'll take a picture of them, and you guys can see them once we get them. Hopefully in the next day or two.
Right.
So new shirts are coming. So make sure you guys get ready to check that out. Brandon, we got an awesome episode lined up tonight. We got the winner of the John Penton 2 times in a row, Josh Strang, coming on the two-wheel side. So it's
can't wait to hear from him.
He came on the show a while back before we were live. Great interview, great guy. Excited to hear about his comeback to racing after having the first 3 or 4 rounds off after his injury in round 2 with the arm, but he came back, came strong, and he must be doing pretty good in the mud.
Yeah,
because it was a little slick.
He's a good mud rider.
The last 2 races he won.
Yeah.
Was in muddy conditions.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm excited to talk to him and pick his brain about his season so far. But like Brandon said, and like I said, we were at the races this weekend. We talked to you guys over there on Saturday. We appreciate you guys coming up and hanging out with us. We handed out a bunch of stickers.
Yep.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was good. Very good time, man. There's a lot of people we didn't get to talk to, unfortunately, but we'll try to catch you at the Mason-Dixon coming up here soon. But it was awesome just meeting some people that actually watched the show and just hanging out with the mud fleas down there in the Monster Mile.
Yeah. I mean, one of us actually ended up down in with the mud fleas.
Well, I had you.
I know, but okay, go ahead and tell them the story.
so I think we made it on Racer TV, right?
We did.
We made it on Racer TV, and we were trying to help a guy out, and I had you. We're pulling, and the bike wasn't going, and then it started going, and then I let go. And next thing I know, you're just sliding down with the quad. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I didn't mean to. Yeah. Well, the guy stalled out and then couldn't get it started. And I'm like, we're not going to be able to pull this bike up without some help from him. So, but no, it created some cool opportunities for videos. I got down there and watched. There was a fight that broke out down there. It was a little wild for a second,
a little
guys.
crazy, yeah.
Oh, wow. Let's calm her down. Calm her down. Everybody love everybody.
Right. It was hot.
But the racing was fantastic.
It was
from top to bottom. We're going to go a little deeper into it after we talk to Josh. We're going to talk about the dirt bikes first.
Yeah.
But just a little preview of that. Man, gut wrenching for Walker Fowler. Whenever we were expecting a great battle for him and Bryson.
Do we know if he was still leading Bryson when he broke? Because he broke about a half a mile away from us. From the Monster Mile.
I know he was in that creek bottom, so it couldn't have been too far from us.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if he broke. If Neil, I never went back and watched, but I don't know if Neil was in front of him by then or if Walker was still leading. And if Walker was still leading, man, that's a really gut wrenching punch right to the gut.
It really is. It really is. And you hate to see that. Like you don't, and even Bryson hated to see that because like we kept saying no breakdowns. Right. And then a breakdown got Walker. But I'm telling you what, guys, the season is not over.
No. I mean, because the table can turn the other way.
Table can turn the other way. I mean, name me one XC1 Pro besides Walker Fowler in the past several years that has not had a breakdown.
Right. Yeah.
I can't name one.
No.
Bryson has had his share.
Right.
Hunter Hart, Walker, Adam McGill, like all those guys have had issues. I mean, even Devin Feehan this past weekend, he was right there in contention for a podium position and had a radiator hose blow off. But it was a bummer to see that to happen to Walker for sure.
The good news is it happened kind of, not want to say halfway, but kind of in the not really early, but right there in that spot where anything can still happen. And we got a lot of races, especially snowshoe. Anything can happen at snowshoe with it being so rough. So I think it happened in a perfect time to where he can make it back and maybe have a good run at it here at the end.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Hey, real quick, Toby Hughes, he wanted to give us a shout out for telling him what line to take on that hill. He said we were right on the line. The middle line was the way to go. And we saw you every lap, man. You did a good job this weekend. Good run. Good run for sure.
So you got to listen to us, guys.
And also Doug Kirk said that Sunstar is going to be putting in a purse as well.
Okay.
I read that right. If I read it wrong, Doug, I'm sorry for messing it up again. but for the 9-hour race, purses are coming left and right. I love to see that.
That's awesome.
It's going to be bringing out a lot of people, I believe.
And if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know if we can announce this, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple pro riders maybe making their way into it.
I've heard some rumors.
So I'm not. We're not going to say who. I'm not going to say who. I've just heard rumors. We've heard rumors. It's not my news to drop, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, we don't drop news over here.
Yeah,
we're not the news droppers. We're the news talkers.
That's right. So be on the lookout for that. And, even if you just want to go watch, it'd be exciting.
No, I agree 100%. 9 hours is a long race. It is. I'm curious to see how a track like that would break down.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking to a couple of guys, possibly putting a team together. But, you're
really trying to snag me, but.
I mean, you were all in until you decided that you have to go race some two wheels.
Hey, man. Two wheels is where it's at, brother.
Two wheels is where it's at. Ooh, easy.
Hey, we got Josh Strang coming on. We got Josh Strang coming on.
Josh Strang coming on. We do got Josh Strang coming on.
Come on, man.
Hey, so you want to just jump into our fantasy, or do you want to talk about – or do we want to leave it in suspense a little bit and go through the running order for this week at the GNCC?
Real quick, before we do that real fast,
mm-hmm.
The first motocross nationals this weekend. And we're doing fantasy for motocross, right? For Pulp on Pulp. Are we doing that?
What's that?
We're doing fantasy for motocross on Pulp, right?
Yeah. Join us on that.
Okay.
We have a pretty big league so far. Almost 50 people have played. So if you play Pulp MX Fantasy, make sure you join our league. Mm-hmm. It's just split line.
Right.
And you can win a t-shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Win a t-shirt. And so it'd be fun. And I think the if you want to watch all the races, you have to go to MAV TV and most likely subscribe to the Plus, MAV TV Plus, which is really cool because all the GNCC races are starting to come on MAV TV.
Yeah.
They're not live. They're playbacks and stuff. And you get to hear good old Mikey Wayne's voice come across the screen. But those are always fun to watch, and you can always go back and rewatch them. So you get best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. But Brandon.
Yep.
So let's talk. You want to do the running order for the GNCC this weekend so far?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So in the 4x4 Pro, Cody Kohler took another win.
Dude, he was hauling.
He was hauling. We saw him hauling.
Yeah.
Hayden Mickelson, he was hauling as well.
Too, yeah.
Took second, and Landon Wolf took third.
Yeah,
that's good.
For not hitting every round.
Mm-hmm. And then I saw like in the between the arrows, he was talking about how he's been kind of really not training at all either,
right.
and just come out and get third, like no big deal.
Right.
The guy's a legend in the sport for sure.
Yeah.
And then in the women's pro, Jessica Eloff took first, Tracy Pickens took second, and Hannah Hunter took third. Hannah Hunter had some troubles in the beginning of the race and had some mechanical issues, and to battle back to third, good run for her. And then those girls are hauling. Jessica and Tracy both were just hauling. We were watching them, and it's impressive the speeds that those girls are carrying. So, when you guys are getting lapped by the girls, like, don't take no offense to it. They're just good.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. They're really good, man. They'd definitely beat me anytime.
Yep. And then in the XC2 class, Jay Shadron took the win again. He's undefeated so far this season, but it didn't come as easy this week. And Brandon Owens took second, and Brandon led most of the race, I believe. Every time that we saw him,
I think he, as far as I know, he led to about they ran 5 laps, didn't they?
Yes, they did run 5 laps.
So I think about they came around on the lap that Walker broke, and that's when
Jay
Shad took over.
Yeah, and Brandon ended up finishing about 30 seconds behind Jay, but it was a close race.
It was a good one.
Every time that we saw them, they were nose to tail in a hard battle, and so it was cool to see Brandon get back up there where he knows he belongs.
For sure. And then and another thing to say about that is just being in that position for that long in front of Jay Shadron, the year that he's been having, that's a big statement for Brandon Owens.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You got to feel confident if you're Brandon on that one.
Yeah.
And then Wyatt Wilkins rounded out the podium, so good ride for him. He actually ended up finishing not that far off behind Brandon. Maybe Brandon kind of lost sight of Jay, and then Wyatt was able to run him down a little bit. That's just speculation. And then in the XC1 class, Bryson Neal took the win. Hunter Hart took second. Good ride for Hunter Hart. It's good to see him back up on the podium. I just want to say, every time that we have talked or seen Hunter before a race, I know he's superstitious.
Right.
He's finished second.
Right.
Every single time. I shouldn't say every single time. The last 3 races that we've seen him, he's finished second. So maybe we're your good luck charm, Hunter.
What do we got to do to get him first? What do we got to get him to get on that top? Well, if you show up,
maybe a live interview before the race.
Maybe. I don't know, maybe a live interview or.
And then the sneaky snake, Jared McClure, took third.
Dude, he's been riding solid lately.
I mean, just constant, just a solid, constant threat for the podium. Bummer for Devin. Devin Feehan was up there and battling with him for that position and ended up breaking down. But hats off to Jared for a good ride. And then on Sunday, Taylor Jones took the win in the women's class. Brandy Richardson took second, and Rachel Archer took third. Those women, I tell you, they've been back and forth.
Yeah, Corey Steed didn't finish on the podium this weekend.
Just off the podium.
But, her and Taylor Jones has been switching punches back and forth this year.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool class to watch, keep your eyes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the bike classes, and now even the XC1, it's kind of like flip a coin on who's going to win these races and who's going to win the championship. So we'll talk a little bit with Josh about that here in a minute. In the XC2, Cody Barnes. Cody Barnes took the win. Congratulations to him. That was the best ride so far of his season. Took the win. Ryder Lafferty took second, and Liam Draper took third.
There's another one that we've since he's been on the podcast, man. He's been on the podium twice.
Every time since he's been on the podcast. Hey, he wants to come in studio sometime. Sometimes.
Cool. That'd be cool.
We'll get him in studio, and maybe then he'll
get a win.
He'll get a win, and then maybe he'll want to be a permanent co-host.
Yeah, right.
And then XC1, Josh Strang took the win. Ricky Russell took second. Jordan Ashburn took third. And I want to point out a stat here real quick. It was a veteran pro podium this weekend. Every single rider on the podium in XC1 was over 30.
Wow.
So
Wow.
vet class.
I can't believe Ricky is over 30. That's insane.
Ricky doesn't look like he's over 30.
No,
But Ricky's got the
he
baby
looks like
face going on.
Yeah, he's got the baby face going on. But that's really cool to see him back up on the podium, man, because he's been dealing with a lot of things and pushing forward, and I think he's getting back to where he needs to be. And I think this weekend, with that confidence being on the podium, is going to shoot him forward a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But right before we get Josh Strang on, we got to go over the fantasy. I kind of teased it a little bit in the Instagram, and the week 7 winners, guys. I don't even know what to say here. I don't know what to say.
It's right here.
Brandon Whitehair.
Oh, wow, that didn't work.
That didn't work. That's okay.
That's
It's because that's down.
Uh,
Brandon Whitehair took first. I hate this guy.
Who's that guy?
I don't know.
Who's that
I
guy?
don't know. Mandy Lawrence took second.
Yeah.
A girl took second.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Girls can take second, man.
She almost beat you. You only had about 1 point.
You know, almost doesn't count.
Zach Bothwell took third. Matt Lewinsky took fourth, and Angelo Frail took fifth. God,
I love these names.
Why do all these names have to be at the top?
I love all these names.
But no. So Brandon, even though you took the win,
Mhm.
you did not get the highest score in either bikes or quads.
What the heck?
So you get no prize. You get no prize. So Matt Lewinsky, he ended up taking the win in bikes, right?
Mhm.
So he gets a chain and sprocket kit. He took the win, and his team was Lyndon Snodgrass, Ryder Lafferty, and Liam Draper.
Cool.
Solid team right there.
Very solid.
And then Zach Bothwell, he took the win in the ATV class with Jared McClure, Wyatt Wilkin, and Brandon Owens.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep. So congratulations to you two guys, Zach and Matt. You guys won the Sunstar Chain and Sprocket kit. So
if you hear this, send us out your information and we'll get it over to you guys.
Yep, absolutely. And at the points as they sit right now, Brandon's still in the lead with 1,071 points. Billy Beebot is in second with 1,017 points, and Zach Bothwell is in third with 971 points. I'm going to be posting those results later this evening, so you guys will be able to Zach's listening right now. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, man.
You guys will be able to see the results in entirety later this evening, so be looking for that.
Sweet.
Brandon, the XC Gear Mako 360.
We're gonna wait till after Josh Strang.
We're gonna wait till after Josh Strang.
Teaser.
Oh, you guys gotta wait.
Got a teaser.
You guys, AJ, hey, both winners are listening. Well, no. He said his girlfriend. She did. Oh, man. That's another one. I thought that she was going to win, but Zach ended up beating her by 1 point for the. A
lot of 1 points.
Yeah. And he says that he needs to. AJ Oplinger says that he needs to have her start picking his team. So you
awesome.
might have to do that. Yeah. I might need my wife to pick my team as well. So I didn't do too hot this weekend. So you want to go ahead and get. Go ahead and get Josh on the line? We got a phone call coming. I can't. Craig. Can't take a call from Craig right now.
Mr. Kawasaki man.
Mr. Kawasaki man. That's right.
KFX guy.
Go ahead and talk a little bit, Brandon, so we don't have dead air time.
Oh, yeah. I was trying not to do that, right? No, man. Seriously, guys. Sunstar Chain and Sprockets. Doug Kurt, dude, he was awesome. My boy raced the GNCC Micro in the morning. Boy, guys, that was a mud mess. Shout out to those kids. But shout out to Doug Kurt. We met up with him and he helped me and my kid out. Actually, him and Coop pulled Colton out of the woods for me a little bit.
It was a rough
bike, got a little hot, and I think we saved the clutch though, guys.
Did we save the clutch?
I think we did.
Okay,
we're going to run it this weekend, and hopefully it makes it. But
hey, if you guys haven't seen it, there's a really cool video of Brandon's son pushing his bike through the finish line. So. That's got to be a proud dad moment to be able to do that. Yeah,
it
was to see him do that.
Yeah, it's cool. That's one of our goals that we always talk. And being 6 years old, we always talk on the line. I'm like, listen, I don't care if you win, I don't care if you lose. It's just go out there and have fun. But the one rule is we don't quit, we don't give up. No matter how bad it is, no matter how much you hate it or whatever goes on. We always want to finish.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
That's the goal.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. It was cool to be able to see him do that and help him do that. So we helped him push it up to the finish line, and he pushed it across. So
right.
Yeah, it was cool. Oh yeah, Doug, I will send you that video. Actually, I need to post that video because I put it up in the stories.
Oh, okay.
So I need to actually make a post with that video in it. I'll make a post and tag you in it. So All right, let's go ahead and get Josh on the line. Josh Strang.
I was on all this talking. You haven't got him on the line yet?
I mean,
You told me to. Jesus.
gotta have you talk a little bit, right?
Well, I've been trying.
I mean, sometimes I gotta hand the reins over a little bit.
A little bit.
Hello.
Hey, Josh.
How's it going?
Hey, man, how's it going? It's Cooper and Brandon from the Split Line Show. Appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man.
Yeah, no worries. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad, man. Hey, first off, congratulations, man. 2 John Pentons in a row. Second race back from the arm injury. You got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned on the weekend, I went however 15 years or whatever, going to the Penton and not being able to get a win, and then now I'm 2 wins in a row. So honestly, the win on the weekend was a little surprising, but I'll take it. And it was I felt fairly good all day. Just kind of fell into place, you know. So it was took advantage of it.
Right. You're probably wishing all the rest of the rounds are at John Penton right now, right?
That place is fun, but I'm happy to get some other.
Well, one thing I've noticed is the last 2 wins you've had have been in some tricky conditions, with the last one at the Ironman and now this one. I mean, it wasn't nearly as bad as Ironman, to say the least, but it did look like you guys, especially out in the field sections, were kind of on an ice skating rink.
Yeah, well, I didn't win at Ironman, so Thad passed me when I was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He passed me on the last lap when I was buried up to the seat. So. But yeah, that one I still feel like I rode fairly well there. So, that's correct. The last 2 races that I've done, well, the last 2 mud races we've had, I've done fairly well at. So, the weekend definitely wasn't the worst Penton I have experienced, but it was fairly slick, and compared to most of the other rounds or all the other rounds this year, it was definitely slicker than anything we've raced on yet so far for the year. So it was, I don't know, you just have to adapt. So it's
right. The dirt there is kind of weird because in some spots.
Sorry, we got home from dinner and I didn't forget my kid in the car, but I just had. I didn't get around to getting him out. Now
you're fine.
The wife's on me.
No worries, man.
No, go ahead. She's got him. It's all good.
Yeah, but I was going to say that the dirt there is real tricky because in some spots it's kind of sticky, and then other spots it's got like snotty slick stuff, and so that always makes you wonder, and it has to keep you on edge.
Yeah, that was what was really strange about the weekend was so from I don't know, probably about the starting line to where we went into the Penton, maybe a mile before the Penton section. It was actually like super slippery. So it had been polished off obviously by the quads, and then it rained on it. So that section for me was really difficult. And if anyone paid attention to how the lap times were going for me, that's where I would lose most of my time. And I don't know, I just kind of struggled on that stuff. But then the section from about halfway through the Penton section to the pits was like full. I thought it had a lot of traction, so I really enjoyed that side of the track, and I was that's where I pulled out my time. So both, like I had the track, like you said, the track had 2 kind of separate pieces of dirt. One was super slick, and the other one was fairly grippy and kind of racy. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we were seeing on Racer TV. Actually, I left Saturday evening when that wind started blowing porta potties over and everything like that. It was whipping pretty good. So my wife actually had to work Sunday, so we headed home. But then I was watching on Racer TV, and it just looked. I was just like, oh man, that's got to be brutal out there. But obviously, this has to mean a lot to you. The way the season's been going had started off for you. I mean, this really has to probably give you a whole new outlook of the way the season can end.
Yeah, like the season. I mean, it is what it is. Injuries happen, and to get injured at Florida, it was a shitty kind of deal. So and I ended up missing, well, with the DNF at Florida, and I missed 4 other rounds. So I didn't score points in 5 races. So pretty much ended my championship hopes, really.
Right.
I mean, and unless I was to go 7-0,
hey man,
which
you
is,
never know. You never know.
Yeah. The odds. Someone should put a bet on that, because the odds would be stacked. I would say would be stacked against me. That's for sure. But yeah, anything could happen. And but yeah, so it's like my championship was kind of over when I broke my arm, which is a shame. But that happened. So to get a win the second round back, definitely a relief and a little bit of a surprise, considering I feel my arm is still not close to being 100%. So the Dr. Tanner, he technically released me at like 4.5 weeks, which is crazy. And I didn't start riding my dirt bike until like 6 weeks, I think. And so even then it was still sore. And what I'm having now is like, what's today? Wednesday. I'm still having a lot of just soreness from the race on Sunday, even today. So it's like and I'm not 24 anymore. I'm 34. Yeah. So things start to slow down. So it's just taking a little bit longer to heal than it would have 10 years ago. And then with me trying to ride during the week and then race on the weekends, it's like it's a process. And so I'm trying to get to the summer break so I can actually have a break, have like 3 or 4 weeks off of racing, and not so much off of riding, but just a little bit of a break so I can try and heal it up so I can be 100%.
Right.
Is it break?
Is it the throttle arm or is it the clutch arm?
Yeah, so it's a clutch arm. So I mean, both. Now I've realized after Ironman, I had I guess you would call it arm pump. So in the past, I've never really had much arm pump or any.
Yeah, lucky
you. and I guess I got it at Ironman, and I was like, cause I only got it I actually got it in my good arm, the one that wasn't broken.
Oh, wow.
And so after when I figured out what was going on, and I paid more attention, I was using my right arm a lot more than my arm that was broken.
Oh, yeah.
So I was overcompensating, and like I was pushing and pulling on the bike with the one arm instead of both arms. So really it made more sense. And what helped this weekend at the Penton, or last weekend at the Penton, was I got to the lead, and with the conditions being how they were, I was kind of able to control the race and go my pace, So it was a little easier, where if the Penton stayed kind of racy like it was on Saturday for the quads, it might have been a different outcome, So yeah.
Yeah. So how's that? The Cowie seems like it really likes that mud stuff. Going into the bike situation, you've rid the Australian bike, right? Because you were on a Husky at one time, right? Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean,
how's it compare? I was just curious.
Yeah. I mean, for me, riding the mud is something that you have to enjoy to do any good at. So obviously, I think the Cowie's a good bike, and for me, I can all weekend I was probably 3rd and 4th gear the whole track on that thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so and that when we don't do anything special, so we go like a tooth up on the rear sprocket and put the pipe on, and other than that, we're running everything. Like everyone can buy the sprocket and an exhaust to run that thing. So it's just the way you ride that thing. But if you rode my bike or anyone else's 450 in 2nd gear around that track, you would have been having nightmares. So it's really the bike is really good, and if you know how to ride it, I think it's an amazing bike. So and again, it's like how I have my stuff set up. So
right.
My stuff's if an off-roader got on my stuff, it's fairly stiff or really stiff. But that's just how I ride. Yeah. So once we cake 20-30 pounds of mud on it, it actually the stiffness of my stuff probably works better than someone who's running a soft setting, and then they put 20 or 30 pounds of mud on. So
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
there's a lot of things that can
Play into.
factor into a mud race. So
Yeah, I was
and then
always.
the fact.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Josh. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say,
Oh.
like, and I'm 6'1", so fairly tall as well, which tends to help a little bit in the mud and the slippery stuff. So.
No, I was always curious. So since Cowboy came out with the Woods model, do you guys run the motocross style transmission, or do you guys run the Woods transmission?
So I'm pretty certain they're the same transmission.
Okay, are they? Because I know sometimes they're geared. Well, these Wood bikes are geared.
Don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty certain. I should know that.
You should know
but
that.
I'm pretty certain they're the same.
Okay.
So the X comes with the side stand and
Oh, that's right. That's
some
right.
other
in that
little
model.
bits, 18-inch rear wheel, and I think it comes with some different valving in the suspension or different spring rates or something.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's
But
right.
other than that, I think they wanted to get an off-road model out just to the customers, you know.
Yeah.
So they were kind of more ready for a cross-country style race.
Right.
And that and then I don't know any plans, but it'd be cool to see. Be cool to see in the future if they come out maybe like a bit bigger tank and maybe a few other off-road kind of additions that most everyone does. You know, it'd be cool to see, but
Right.
I'm not sure of what's going on, so it'll be good to see.
Yeah, for sure. I was just always curious about that.
What I'm curious about, and I want to get your thoughts on this. I've not seen this. I don't know if I'm sure it's probably happened before, but I believe that every rider on the podium this weekend was over 30 years old. So it was kind of like a vet class overall podium. So that's pretty cool to see. It's pretty cool to see, you know, and I have an assumption that maybe the conditions, like you said, help that a lot. You know, older, more veteran riders getting up there and doing that. Ricky had a great race as well. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I know you say that it was a 30-plus podium, and I think you probably haven't seen that since like the Fred Andrews, Rodney Smith days back.
Yeah.
What's that? That'd be 20 years ago now.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, it's pretty crazy, and I don't know. I think I mean, Jordan as everyone says, Geordie likes the mud, you know, and then Ricky Russell, he's from out in Washington, so I think he enjoys riding in the mud as well. And I've done enough races here in the States now where I would much prefer riding mud than the dust of Australia. So it's like, I think just experience and that sort of stuff kind of pays off sometimes. And I mean, honestly, I don't know. You get some guys that are like some kids that are really good in the mud. I think there's a lot to a 3-hour GNCC, and I think you just have to sometimes be smart.
Mm-hmm. How many times did you stop for goggles? Or like I know like a mud race kind of like that kind of changes your whole pit stop strategy. Did you guys have a good plan going into it, or was you guys just kind of winging it a little bit?
Yeah, so I mean I try and look at the weather before the races, and I'll prep goggles. I try and prep goggles before I get there. That way I'm just not worried about it. And I prepped for a mud race or a rain race. So, but I actually only switched goggles once at our gas stop. So for me, it was an easy day on goggles.
Oh wow, yeah,
that's pretty impressive for a 3-hour race. I would have said probably 3 or 4.
That's
but
right.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. So going into this year, like when we first talked to you, we talked to you in the off season, and you were getting ready for a season, and you know, hopes were high, and then the whole season has just been so weird with all these injuries. Your injury, you know, we've heard that your injury was kind of related to lapper issues, and it just seems like a lot of that going on this year. You know, what's your thoughts on the whole season as a whole, and you know, kind of where the sport is right now?
That's kind of a big question.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my crash was, I mean, the lapper, we actually talked a little bit on Instagram. Well, we talked when we were sitting next to each other on the side of the track. And then he messaged me again, like a week later or whatever on Instagram and apologized. And it's like it wasn't his fault. The guy was off. He was off my line, so he was out of the way, and there was a log or something in the bush that he didn't see. And so when he hit that log, he just deflected into me.
Right.
And I mean, so there's nothing the poor guy could do. And when I crashed and knew my arm was broken, and I'm cussing like a Australian would cuss, and and I turn around to give the guy an earful, and he's laying face down in the middle of the track, just groaning. So it's like, and I'm like, man, I can't yell at this guy. He's probably in more pain than I am. And then so it was like, yeah. So that for me, that was a bummer. But it's without the lappers out of GNCC, our racing it's not GNCC, you know.
Right,
so
right.
If that happened to someone else in the next 5 years, I would be surprised. So, but yeah, sure, I was bummed, and it was unfortunate that it happened to me. But you know, like I said, it's part of it, and that sometimes that's just where maybe it was just meant to be, you know. So, and as far as like the other guys getting injured, I don't know, just that first round took a bunch of guys out, and I just think everyone was just going for it, you know.
Right.
So I think that's just part of it. Everyone wanted to I don't know, capture. I don't know. They were just going for it, I think, and that's just what happens, you know.
What we've talked about it a lot on the show, that it just seems like, you know, the sport itself is elevated so much that all you guys have just elevated your game to such, like we talk about the tip of the spear, like you guys are on the tip of the spear with speed and your endurance and your energy and the ability to run those high speeds for so long that it just kind of seems like whenever there is a situation, it tends to be that much worse.
Yeah, and I think that's true, you know, and the tracks, I don't think the tracks are too fast, but they definitely, like everyone has found ways, like you said, to go faster over the last couple of years, whether it be suspension improvements or the tires are getting better or the bikes are getting, I mean, I wouldn't say the bikes are getting faster, but maybe the powers are getting more usable. And I just think it's like I've been around now for 15 years or something. So I've seen a bunch of different like changes throughout the class, but I just feel like now every time you practice or go race, it's almost always at 100%. So I think you're just pushing the limits, and that's part of motorsport in general, really. Right. And then for us racing in between the trees, that's what it is. And like you said, everyone's going faster, so it's difficult. And I think for the most part, everyone rides within their limits, and there's sometimes that just something will catch you out, like the stump that got Stu, or I think the route that got Ben at the Enduro, or whatever happened, you know. So it's just like those little things that's going to happen doing anything. Like Stu might have hit that stump going half the speed, and the same thing might have happened. So
right.
That's how it is, and that's, I think, I mean, you get on a dirt bike, you know the risks and that sort of stuff. Right. So I think it's just a little bit just coincidence that a lot of guys are getting injured right now, and I think it'll come good here soon.
Right. Yep. Now, what the cool part is, you just mentioned how long you've been a part of the sport, and like you've seen the evolution of the sport and how it's grown, and how you guys have and you've been a part of the growth yourself. My question is while this transition of the sport has happened over the years, have you been able to, like, I guess, see it happening, or is it something that you're just kind of like a part of, and it's like, you're like, wow, looking back, like we've gotten a lot faster since then, or like while it was happening, or you're like, this is like, it's getting pretty fast every year?
Yeah, there's definitely been some things where I feel like I've been ahead of some, or ahead of the class, and then there's other things where I've missed the boat, and I've had to catch back up. You know, I think when I first came over, I feel like I was one of the fitter guys towards the end of the race. And that's where if you ever watch old videos or look at times or whatever, when it was Charlie and I were together for the first half of the race, and then it based it off lap times. I could just drop him almost every race we were together, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like back in the 2008, 9, 10, 11, I guess, maybe 8, 9, 10. That's when I felt like I was ahead of the class in that area. And then once I left in 2012 and came back, everyone had stepped up. And then Caleb, of course, came along, and he brought, I don't know, he just brought a lot of speed early. And then I think that just everyone had to do a lot of catching up to him, because I don't think anyone caught on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would see his races, he would get to the front and have a gap, and then you can just maintain that gap. And I think for the years he was here, everyone was starting to catch up towards the end, and I think everyone got a lot closer the last couple of years he was doing it, although he was still really good. And I think another thing he did the last 2 or 3 years, he got on the program with the Alden program.
Yeah.
And I don't think Alden does anything special, but he creates a program where people are accountable.
Right.
And so if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. And I think Caleb brought that program onto his racing, and I think that leveled him up again. And now you see all the guys in the class with trainers and all that sort of stuff, where I think it's elevated once more. So I think it just keeps going, and yeah. So I've seen bits and pieces of all of it.
It's crazy. You get to a point like we are now, with as fast as you guys are, and you kind of think, man, like 5 years from now, like how could it get
any faster?
How could it get any faster from this point?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I could still be around. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Man. Hey, there's no letting off, it seems like, at all.
5 years from now, I'll be on e-bikes, like electric bikes or something.
Yeah, for sure. So one more question before we let you go. You've been working a lot with some youngsters of the sport. Lyndon Snodgrass is having a great season this year, and you've kind of had a hand in that with training him and helping him. How's that been for you? That style, being on the trainer side.
Yeah, it's been good. So Lyndon came over 2019, 20, one of the, I don't know, maybe 2020. And he came over at first and had applied for his visa, and so he'd come over for 3 months, and then he'd have to go back until his visa was ready to get approved. So he came over there kind of for free with Babbitt's, which was cool, because he was getting the support and everything. Just he was not getting paid. So the wife and I put him under the house, and he kind of just jumped on, and we just did the program, my stuff I was doing together, and then last year he kind of was here again, and then we did the same sort of thing. So I think I was able to. Well, I feel like I was able to help him learn the ropes fairly quicker than someone else who came over and just tried to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, we've added at the end of last year, we added a second kid to the family. So we didn't really have to boot Lyndon, but at the same time, we were like, man, you're probably not going to get any sleep, and we're going to have an extra person in the house. And at that stage, the Reardon family, Gus and Will, they were moving out here as well. So
yeah.
Lyndon moved in with their family, which actually is about 10 minutes from here, from my joint. So it ended up working out fairly well. So I still help them with the programs and training and that sort of stuff. So Lyndon and Gus and Mason Simmons, the other Aussie kid who's here now too, we all kind of ride and train together, and I just try and help them out. And I'm not a certified trainer, but I feel like over the years I've learned enough where I feel like I can pass on my some information confidently that I feel will help them do better at the GNCCs. So it's something that I'm interested in doing after I'm done racing. So that, and this by doing it this way, I feel I can get my feet wet and see if it's actually something that I am really interested in. So it is fun. Sometimes it's a little stressful trying to line everything up as far as riding and the training and all that goes, but for the most part, I enjoy doing it. And for me, it's also a bonus because I'm riding with kids who just hold it absolutely wide open for the most of the time we go practice. So for me, it can only help as long as I don't pick up any bad habits. You know?
Right.
They're all throughout the week. I'm rarely the fastest guy throughout the week nowadays. So I've been around long enough where I'd try not to let that get to me. During the week the boys are definitely holding it wide open. So
always different on race day.
Have you ever been in situations where they catch you on from the second row and you kind of like are able to play teacher with them while you're out there on the track?
Yeah, so I have, like, Lyndon's been here for, this is third season. So up until this year, he hadn't caught me ever. I don't know if he might have caught me on adjusted time a couple of times maybe, but never actually on the track. And then this year, Lyndon and Gus, actually my first race back 2 weeks ago at the Hoosier, they caught me on the second lap or something. And because I was, like I said, I had the arm pump issue or whatever it was. And so I was trying to just ride my own deal. And then I see the boys, I figured they were going to catch me. And I remember seeing them a couple of times in the woods. And I'm like, I think that's Lyndon. And then I remembered kind of what color helmet Gus had on. I was like, I think that's Gus. And then I remember going down one of the cornfields and looking back and they were like catching quick. So once we got into the woods, I moved over. Well, I looked back and I saw Gus was leading, and it was the race before at Coca where he led on adjusted time, the overall after the first lap. Yeah. And but the problem at Coca, he blew his load by doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when he caught me and he was leading on the second lap, I moved over and I'm like waving him the slow down gesture with my hand.
Yeah.
And he went past, and then I let Lyndon pass, and then I let Liam Draper pass as well. He was with him. And then I kind of rode behind them for a little bit until I settled in and my arms kind of went back to normal. And then I passed Liam, then I followed Gus for like about a lap, I think. And finally he let me past, and I wasn't sure if he was going to try and tag on, but he dropped back. I think he was kind of starting to get tired there. Must have been like maybe an hour and a half or something. Mm-hmm. And then so I followed Lyndon for a lap as well, which is, for me, was fun. Sure, I don't want him to catch me, but it was fun to ride with him. And then he got halfway stuck in a mud hole. So as I was riding by, I was just looking at him. I was making sure he wasn't stuck completely because he was leading. So if he was fully bogged, I probably would have stopped and helped him out. But he was just stuck for a couple of seconds, and then I was kind of hoping he would latch on, because I feel like I had a few lines that he could have learned. But I think at that stage he already had like a minute or so on Gus, so there was no real point for him to like push to. Yeah, because that's one thing I've tried to drill into them about the XC2 class is they get paid the same amount of points if they finish first overall or 10th overall. But if they win the XC2 class, that's like they just get paid in points for XC2 only. So it's like you're not doing yourself any favors by burying your body to get a 5th overall or something.
Right.
So that's one big thing I feel like I've tried to teach him. And I don't know if I feel like Lyndon's finally figuring that out. It's like, man, if I can get 10th overall and win the class, then on Monday I feel great, and that's better than like burying myself and feeling like absolute crap for a 5th overall, and no one seems to care about it.
Right. So I got 2 questions for you, and the one is, how does that boot taste? How does the boot taste? Man, it was funny 'cause I saw a youth rider do it earlier in the morning, I think. And then you ended up winning and have to do it in the afternoon. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, about halfway through the last lap, I was thinking, I was like, shit, I'm going to have to do a shoey. And that there wasn't a whole lot of water, but for some reason my boots filled up massive with water. And I was like, it won't be good. So I kind of, when I went through the finish line, I kind of talked myself out of it. And I wasn't going to say anything about it. And then Mikey Waynes gets on there and he said something, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And then he's like, oh, but some kid did it this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang it, I better. But yeah, that one was by far the worst. Then the other thing that's fairly foul is they were the boots I had to take a leak in at the Ironman too. So I didn't drink a whole lot of the champagne, maybe like a mouthful or something. But it was, yeah,
That's awesome.
I might pack a brand new set of boots.
Right.
Hey, that's a good idea.
It's like, hey,
Yeah.
bring me a good boot real quick.
Yeah.
The other question I have for you: are you going to be at the Full Gas this weekend?
I'm still undecided yet, so that's I wanted to go, but my arm still not being 100%. I just want it, like I said earlier, I just want to get it healed up, and I think the least amount of time I can ride on it, the better. But that Full Gas is fun, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what we decide.
I'll be looking for you if you're down there. I'm like,
yeah, cool.
Yeah. So, man, Josh, we're not going to take any more of your time up, buddy. We appreciate you coming on the show. It's always good to hear from you. And, hey, if a shoey is the worst thing that happened this weekend, it's a pretty freaking good weekend, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'll drink a shoey out of my stinky, dirty boot any race weekend if the outcome is a first place. So I'm happy to.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, good luck up at High Point this coming weekend. We'll be up there and be cheering you on, man. So again, thanks for coming on the show, man. We appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, all right, fellas. Thank you.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, see you, mate.
Yeah, I was wondering about the good old shoey, because I bet that was a little because you could tell when he dumped it a little bit.
I didn't know about the leaking in a boot and then taking a shoey. That's rough. That's rough. But hey, these guys are so hydrated,
right?
That you gotta go 3 hours, or you gotta go 3 hours without peeing.
Could you imagine? It's like, you gotta go off the bike. Hold the bike, guys. I gotta go pee.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Racer TV has a camera, and you see guys just taking a leak in the
Yeah. No, Josh was a good interview. We really appreciate him coming on.
Awesome.
I mean, just class act guy. It's always cool to hear, his the way he talks about the racing, and what I really enjoyed was the talking about how he was able to link up with Lyndon and Gus during that last race at Ironman, and really kind of teach them a few lines and hang with them. And that's not where he wants to be, but again, at the same time, that was the race he was coming back from injury. So it's not like he had a little bit of catching up to do with his with his racecraft.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
the arm,
right? The arm and everything. And I'm sure once his arms came back to life, and like he said, he started, pretty much clicked another gear, and it was like, all right, boys, coming back up, pass you up. So
yeah, absolutely.
He was saying that his laps aren't the fastest on the practice track, but we all know with this sport, age, especially GNCC racing, a little bit of age on you gives you a little bit more knowledge on race day, and kind of know how to preserve yourself for when you need to exploit the energy and stuff you have. But so with this all going on, what do you think? How's this all going to turn out? for the bikes for Mason Dixon and all that good stuff.
Well, are we talking about championship? Because like right now, Ben Kelly, this is really the best case scenario for Ben Kelly with Josh
winning
and Ricky Russell finishing second, because between first place and third place where Jordan Ashburn finished is a 9-point gap. So, those are 9 valuable points that Jordan could have used this weekend.
Right.
And he wasn't able to get, he was able to finish on the podium, which is good.
He had a hard-fought battle for that podium.
He did have a hard-fought battle for the podium for sure. But it's one of those things where you hate to see Ben Kelly out, but when he's out, you need to take the advantage of it and get as many points as possible. Trevor Bollinger being the same way.
Right.
He had kind of an off race as well. I believe he ended up finishing 10th. He ended up having a penalty. He took a line that was a little too far off the track. I saw his post about it on Instagram, and he's kind of like one of those things. It is what it is.
Right.
But still, neither one of those guys really jumped on top of that and took advantage of the points like they needed to this past weekend. So going into High Point, I look for those two guys, especially Ashburn, to really put it on and try to close that gap while Ben's not in the series.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing is, and how crazy would this be? And I don't know the whole extent how long Ben Kelly's out. That maybe he's already done. Maybe he's I haven't heard. I don't know if you've heard. Haven't seen anything. But if there is a possibility that he comes back, how crazy would it be for him to be able to come back and still have the points lead and making it and still winning the championship? I think that'd be nuts. What do you think?
No, I think it would be nuts as well. I'm messaging.
Yeah,
messaging
good.
Listeners here.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it would be crazy if he's able to do it. And he has 2 races, and then I think between the 2 races and then the week when he comes back after the break, I think it'd be like 17 total weeks that he would have to heal up, and it all depends on that shoulder.
Right.
It all depends on that shoulder. Yeah. So we'll see.
Possible.
It's gonna be possible. I think he could do it,
especially with this weekend.
Let's just put it this way. I still pick Ben to be the favorite to win the championship this year.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
So,
Bollinger and Ashburn and DeLong need to get up there and get those wins coming in from the Mason Dixon. So those guys really need to get their stuff in a row and their ducks in a row and get on that podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Hunter Johnson, thanks for joining the show, man. We appreciate it. Enjoyed talking to you on the weekend. It was really cool catching up with you, and thanks for coming up to us.
Man.
And then also, I've been called out. On my pronunciation.
I was wondering. I couldn't read because it was like all funky on mine, and I couldn't figure it out.
All right, Matt. Let's see if this is better. Matt Lewandowski. Let me know if I'm right. Matt Lewandowski is the winner of the Sunstar Chain and Sprockets. So, but yeah, going into the ATV race, Brandon, what's the one thing that you picked up on? Is this Bryson Neal's championship this year?
Well, after this weekend, it is I think it's going to be his championship to win or lose. Like I said, it's a long season. Walker Fowler, to me, looked like he was on a mission. I know Neal was catching him a little bit. That's why I'm curious. I really wish I would have went back and watched and see if he was still leading when he broke.
Yeah.
Going into like maybe mile 8 or something.
Doug Kirk says he thinks he was, because he said he was a few seconds ahead of him. And where Doug was standing over those pits.
I think if he doesn't break, I think he wins. So because he only had a lap. He only had a lap left.
A lap's a long time.
It is a long time, but he was on that flow, that good pace.
I agree. Bryson did catch him.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Bryson was in 6th place for the first 2 laps.
Yeah.
And didn't, when we saw Bryson come through the second time and he was still kind of in that 5th place position, I was like, whoa, what's going on?
But I'm sure it's kind of one line. I don't want to say one line, but I'm sure there was very little.
I don't know how
lines.
these guys make passes as it is.
Right. Well, especially on that track, the way it was all forming up. We went to one section, it was like slot cross.
Yeah.
It was just one line, and you just got your tires.
But you know how these guys is. Most of the time, these guys aren't even touching those. They're not even getting in those ruts. Right. They're skipping across them, but it might have been, like you said, the morning race was like that.
Yeah.
So it might have been one of those situations, until the PM lines got developed, it was kind of slot crossy,
Right.
and they weren't really able to make any passes. But once he did get into second, he put a charge on,
yeah.
and he caught up to Walker real quick. And I want to say a shout out to Walker Fowler. That did you see that video that he had?
On his story.
What a class act.
Right.
What a class act. If you haven't seen that video,
Sure.
I think it was in his story, so it may not be up anymore.
Trust me, I think we were saying like, probably shouldn't talk to Walker for about another year.
Well,
and then he puts that up.
and he
like,
puts that up, and the dude is such a good example for kids, for the future generation of racing, of how you should handle yourself as a professional. And it was really cool to see that. The video was literally, he was standing beside the broke down quad with the chain off the bike, and he had a good attitude about it. So, hats off to him. We appreciate guys like that in the sport for sure. It sets good examples. I showed that video to Nolan, and I'm sure you showed it to Colton.
Yeah.
And it's really good to see that out of these guys.
Right. I just want to say, what did I say on the starting line? We were sitting there and I'm like, and we're getting ready to watch they're getting ready to make the 10-second call. And I looked at you. I said, what did I say? I said, it's going to be Hunter Hart's day. And you're like, I'm like, I think he's going to win. And he came out and
you said if he can get a whole shot,
and it was close. Fowler stole it away from him.
Man, Fowler's so good at that inside.
Yeah, the way he set him up.
He pivots on that.
He made a motocross move on that one. Like,
yeah,
that was a nice one.
He pivots on that line so hard that he makes that, really, really smooth, because he's not always, a lot of times he is, but he's not always the first one to jump off the line. But coming out of the first turn, it's like one of those things. It's like the quickest point from A to B is a straight line, and he's never ever overshooting that turn.
Right.
If you look at a Walker Fowler hole shot, he is hugging that inside turn around Ricky Towery every single race. Like, he is right on that line. So that's how he does it, and he's the reason why we can't have a whole shot challenge on our fantasy game, because it'd be too easy to pick.
Right, especially
But back to Hunter Hart, great race.
Yeah,
he rode fantastic.
Because he was on Fowler's butt for at least a lap or two?
lap and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then he dropped off a little bit, but then
he made it.
Then he made it up, and got a cool video of him coming through that section down there at the Monster Mile.
Yeah.
Him and Devin Feehan, I thought they both were going to kill me because they were coming right. I had this little sapling.
Yeah.
That was my safety net right there. I was standing kind of behind the sapling, and if
I seen a dude run over like 3 saplings on the top of that hill, so I don't think you were too safe.
Well, I was hoping that it would at least slow the quad down just a little bit before it ran me over.
Like we had Colton there, and I was like, we're right there at that split, and I was like, dude, just hug a tree, buddy, just hug a tree and hold on. Did you see Chris Borsch's video?
The one where he tipped over?
Well, I don't know about a tip over, but he
tipped over
face
front.
planted.
Yeah, I did see that.
Man, hats off to Josh Merritt.
Was that Josh that helped him up?
No, I'm sorry.
It was Austin Abney.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Because Austin talked to me about that after the race. Yeah.
And, that's a class act. You're in the middle of a race. It's your competitor. You're trying to get up there and to stop and help a rider out, which, it was on top of him. He was pinned down. Yeah. That's a class act by Austin Abney.
How about shout out to him for having a good top 10 finish this weekend. Yeah. That he expects more of himself, but man, like you heard on the podcast a few weeks ago when we had him, he's been through a lot with the back injuries, and he was telling me about some of the issues that he was having going on, and it's cool to see him, getting better, and he was riding fast. So.
Right. Yeah, and John Glauda put a heck of a ride in too. I talked to him after the race, and he put one in. It was pretty good. And, and I'm telling you guys, that wasn't a smooth track out there by any means. Those guys were holding on pretty good. Yeah.
Hey guys, we're getting ready to give away the XC Gear Mako 360 here in just a minute. So if you haven't already, make sure you share the video. Get a few more people on here to see who wins that thing. But down to the XC2 race. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show, but Brandon Owens, man, what a ride by him. That kid was hauling this weekend, and he gave Jay the run for his money.
He did.
He
Man.
gave Jay everything Jay wanted in that race. Every other race this season, Jay has been able to jump out and just kind of pull like a Walker Fowler of a few years ago before Bryson Neal was able to latch on and just kind of run away from it.
Right.
That's what Jay's been able to do in the XC2 class this year, but not today. Not today. Brandon was right there on him,
Mm-hmm.
and Jay even got the whole shot. So at some point in time, Owens passed him.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I think I was more excited about that than I was Walker Fowler out front, because like they were coming around, I'm like, dude, that was Owens.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's Jay, and then we're coming back. There's Owens again. He's still in the lead, and I think that was the coolest thing about the whole thing is, I was more excited about the XC2 race because Jay Shattern's been just running away with it all year, and finally he had someone to step up and give him a really good challenge.
And that can only go a long ways for Brandon in the next several races. Right. He's got some momentum on his side now. He's kind of had a rocky start to the season. Yeah. He started off really good, but then he's had some issues with the bike. Had some races that I'm sure he would like to have back. But I'm sure going into a High Point, a track close to home, not as close as the John Penton though,
right.
But these, he's in his home right now with the next 3 races before summer break. And I look for him to really these tracks were already circled on his calendar, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's going to really focus on them and really focus on making it, making a run for, maybe if not this championship, but making a run for trying to get, himself in a better position.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's in Parkersburg. So he's about a couple hours away from the Mason-Dixon and probably about 2.5-3 hours away from Snowshoe. So as a racer, you'd almost want to call those home tracks.
They for sure home tracks.
Yeah. So shout out to him. Man, Adam McGill also had a great start to this race. And
did you see where he had to? He stopped in the pits, had a brake issue.
No, I didn't see.
And then I don't know if he thought they fixed it or not, but he rode off to the end of the pit lane, turned around and went back to his pit.
Oh man.
And they got off the bike and they were working on it. And the mustache was Mikey Waynes went out over there and was talking to him, and the mustache was giving him a hard time about it for sure.
I bet. I'm sure. Because that was a bummer because he was out front and running that top 3 for the first, I think it was lap, wasn't it? And lap and a half, and that was really cool to see. And I think, man, if he can keep it up and keep that little bit of momentum that he picked up from that going into this home race for Adam McGill at the Mason-Dixon, and then Snowshoe right after it, hopefully maybe see him on the podium here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gators, he was in a position early in the race and then had that issue. But once we saw him after that issue, he never looked like he lost any more time. So you got to wonder what could have happened if it wasn't for that.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a great race. Everyone that we met up there was awesome.
It was totally cool. Awesome. It was cool seeing you guys. We gave some T-shirts to some guys. We talked to it was cool to talk to Devin Feehan's mom. Yeah. She recognized our voices, so that was cool. Yeah. And Doug Kirk mentioned that McGill was running Nerf bars this weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
He said that I've seen him say before that he would never run Nerf bars because he wasn't a puss. So looks like the age is getting to him maybe.
I mean, if the Nerf bars get you that good of a start and get you up there, you better run them.
He says he intends on using them as well. So.
Well, maybe the Nerf bars was the brake problem. Maybe the Nerf bars were getting in the way.
Maybe. So, hey, you ready to give this XC Gear Maker 360 away?
Yeah, the winner is Brandon Whitehair.
Oh, wow. That's a weird randomizer you got over there.
That's right? So,
people are already saying that you're somehow cheating in this.
I know, man. I love it. And I can't even win. I'm doing so good in this, and I can't even win a prize. I can go over to Pulp and I suck it up, or I go Rocky Mountain and suck it up.
Hey, Matt said that I pronounced his name right this time, so I appreciate it, man. So
how you pronounce that again? Don't look down.
Lewandowski.
I'm just messing with you.
Lewandowski.
All right, so you want to? I'm going to hit it, and I'll tell you. You can tell me when to stop.
Okay, go ahead. Ready?
All right,
go. Stop.
All right. The winner of the Mako 360 bar clamp is Riley Walter Peter Bayer.
Riley Bear.
Yep.
Congratulations. You are the winner of the Mako 360. We'll be in contact with you. Message us if you don't mind and give us your information, what bike you want it on. And man,
that's awesome.
I need to win a Mako 360.
Listen, guys, listen. All you had to do was play. That's all you had to do.
Hey, I'm curious. I wonder if we could know real quick where he finished in this week's fantasy.
You would have that information more than I would.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna look for it.
You're gonna look for it.
Yeah.
You want me to talk some more?
Yeah, go ahead and talk some more.
Hey guys, why we're doing this, guys? Support our show, support our sponsors. These sponsors are awesome. Doug Kurt's awesome over at Sunstar, and Seal Sabers, Mason's over there is awesome, and Greg at Guts is awesome, and Richie Nolan from Mountain State is awesome. Support those guys as much as you can, and I love to see this product on your bikes when we go to the races.
Everybody love everybody.
That's right.
He finished 13th.
13th? That's not bad.
Not bad.
No,
Not bad.
You didn't have to win.
Hey guys, 13th isn't bad. We are having a pretty good turnout for fantasy this
For
year.
something we haven't really advertised very well.
No, we've not advertised.
If you don't listen to our show, you probably don't know about it.
No, exactly. And we appreciate you not spreading the word too much.
Yeah, well,
Don't
he
spread
does.
the word too. Yeah,
Next
I do.
year.
Because it's taken me I'm spending about 8 hours a week. I know you guys don't feel bad at all.
No.
I'm spending about 8 hours a week.
You're like, dude, I don't care. Just give
putting
me my
time
prize,
in.
bro.
But no, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Has it all? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's been fun.
the handicaps have worked out well.
It's kind of cool to see something that you and I have created a little bit to watch it work.
Yeah, to watch it work and watch, like, what I think is cool about it is people have said that, well, it's a fantasy game for just the pros.
Mhm.
But
It's not.
No,
'Cause
it's not.
I mean, we've had a couple. I don't want to say non-pro, but
yeah, A riders.
A-riders.
We've had A riders
Right.
finish in the top 20 and score some major points. Like over on the bike side this year, with as much chaos has been going on on row one, man, there has been some major points of guys coming out of the top 20 and finishing with a high score. And you guys, it's cool. I think the riders have really liked it as well. Like when we give them a shout out for being the top scorer of the week.
I don't think half of them are like, what did I just win? But that's cool. Or what did I just do? But that's cool. But
yeah.
You're like, what's up?
Hey, I want to say I had both of the top scorers this week on my team. I think, did you too?
Did you
as
have?
well? Liam Draper and Brandon Owens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably how you won.
Yeah. Well, duh.
Yeah.
I have all the top scorers on my team.
Yeah. Yeah. And Doug just said McCormick and Keys. Yeah. Dalton Keys. Very good examples of why this is not just a pro.
Right.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it's anybody who finishes in the top 20. Hey, if you are in Vet B and you finish in the top 20,
you're getting points.
You're going to get points.
Right.
So it's cool. No,
it's cool.
we enjoy it, and next year we intend on making it that much better. We want it on a website. That's the goal. We're going to get it on a website. That way you guys can enter in your own teams.
And Rodney doesn't spend 8 hours.
And I don't have to spend 8 hours doing it. But we appreciate you guys bearing with us and playing the game with us. And if you've not played yet, you can still play.
Yeah.
We give away some sick weekly prizes. This week, chain and sprocket sets from Sunstar.
Dude,
are you kidding me?
That was huge.
2 of them.
Dude, that's like $250.
Yeah.
Easy.
Each?
Yeah.
Each. So $500 from Sunstar chain and sprockets, and then the Mako 360.
So you're like almost $1,000 worth.
We're giving away like almost $1,000 worth of prizes.
That's insane.
Just for playing 1 week of split line fantasy. And the Mako, you didn't even have to win.
Nope.
The person that finished last could have won this one.
Right.
So yeah, so
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
I didn't think we'd ever be at this. That's what I said, guys. Support these guys.
We've had close to we're getting close to about 100 people that have played this game so far, and we're hoping that next year we're going to advertise it, and we want you guys to help advertise it too next year.
And hey, if you guys
blow up,
if you guys see anything that we need to maybe change or an idea, don't be scared to send us a message. I mean, it's not a lot, you know what I mean? Like we got our base, but you know what I mean? If you guys have a good idea maybe about the game or something else.
Well, we've had a lot of ideas about including like the 4x4s or the women's dirt bikes. And like, yes, that would be awesome.
It just makes life a little harder on her end.
Makes life a little bit harder. It makes picking teams harder as well. Maybe one day down the road we can do something like that as well.
Like one of our ideas is maybe, since we can't do the whole shot, Mr. Walker Fowler and pretty much Ricky Russell this year, we were thinking about maybe doing like a first to the finish line or
first lap lead.
Yeah, first lap lead or something like that, to get an extra bonus points added to your score. If you pick, you don't have to pick.
There's been times XC2 guys have been leading, going first into the first lap
with the overall.
Yeah, they've been in the overall. So that could be something that we look to in the future as a way to kind of maybe an extra added thing to get bonus points and stuff like that. But no, it's been fun, guys. And like I said, we really appreciate you guys playing, and everybody that's played it has had such a good attitude about it and having fun. Like, we've not had any complaints.
No.
Except for pronouncing guys' names wrong.
Knock on wood.
And you guys have been like, you guys have entered your teams in every week. It's been a lot of fun.
Right.
It's been a lot. We really, and you know what's crazy, Brandon? So when we first started this, you saw everybody, like I would put the handicaps out and like we would get like everybody's teams from that point on through the week. And it was just like trickling teams in constantly. Well, now it almost seems like everybody has kind of like figured out the game a little bit and wants to wait until the end of the week. So like this past week, I was starting to panic. I was like, we haven't gotten anybody to pick their teams hard. We have like 3 teams in. And then like Saturday morning, we had like 80 some like 80 some messages with teams.
Right.
So
it was insane.
It was pretty funny. Yeah. So Brandon, good show.
Are
we done?
You
know what we should do actually? Let's pick our podiums. Let's pick the winners for the round 1 of Pro Motocross.
Oh, okay. You want to do that? 250 first, 450? What do you want to do?
Whatever you want to do. I kind of threw that on you, so you get to pick on who.
We'll go 250 first.
Okay.
And just because I know you're probably thinking, I don't even know if you're thinking about that. I'm going to go dark horse, and I'm going to go Hunter Lawrence gets the win.
Hunter Lawrence with the win. Is that really a dark horse though? Because I kind of
everybody's a dark horse if you match them up to Jet right now. If you listen to everything else everybody's saying.
I kind of think that Hunter and Jet are kind of like they're going to be the guys this year.
I don't want to say guys because you still got Justin Cooper in that class. I mean, Michael
Justin's got such a big question mark over him. Though.
He does, but listen, the dude.
And is Mosman as good outdoors as he is indoors?
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, I think he was like 4th last year in the championship. Don't quote me on that. So, and I was listening to the press conferences and stuff on that, and he says his bike, hasn't really changed too much on it. So he's comfortable. And then RJ Hampshire, he's always fast.
So how did RJ go from being on the 250 to being on the 450 to now back being on the 250? Because he was taking Malcolm's spot there for a minute.
Yeah. So I guess there was only like a 4-day hiatus on the 450.
Yeah.
He did really well. And then I guess he met up with Husky, the team, and was like, so this is his words. He rode the 450, got it dialed in, pulled out the 250, went just as fast on the 250 as he did on the 450.
Right.
And so then the team met up. The hierarchy said, I think this is the better option for the Husqvarna team to put you on the 250 because you're really fast right now on it and have a better chance of putting it on the podium. If RJ lines up on the 450, doubtful he gets a top 5.
Right.
So 250.
That's stacked. That class
right,
is
it's stacked. So the 250s was a better option for him. And then they brought in Shane McElrath to fill in his spot there.
Right.
So which is pretty cool.
So you picking Hunter to win?
Yeah, Hunter's going to win this one. I think Hunter's going to win the whole championship.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. He's overshadowed by Jet so much.
Man, could you imagine? We've not really ever seen them like get into a
could you imagine if it was like a 1-point separation going into the last round for the championship? Brother, like that would be insane. Like I don't even know if like you couldn't even
mom and dad wake up at night and walk downstairs and like
you couldn't even sleep in
Hunter's
the same house.
Smothering.
Yeah, you couldn't sleep in the same house. Not even alone being under the same tent. That'd be insane.
Yeah, it would be cool. One day we're gonna watch that.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
It's gotta happen.
I'm gonna say I don't want to pick Jet because that's the easy pick. And I don't think Jet's going to win this weekend, though.
I don't know. He's been he's 3-0 at Paula. He's 3-0 at Fox Raceway. The last 3 races he's lined up there. He's won all 3.
All right, I'll go Jet. I'll be unoriginal and go Jet.
Yeah, I mean,
let's go to 450s. I got a surprise there.
No,
so
I doubt it.
Go 450s.
I doubt it. You're probably gonna go Ken Roxon.
No,
I know you.
No, I'm over it. Did you see his post on Instagram?
Nah, I don't think
He was like, "F all the haters."
Well, I mean, the guy's got a whole Pandora's box over there. He's got to unlock. So, I love Ken Roxon. His whole story is awesome. He's just got to figure it out. I think he needs to make a team switch, get away from that bike that caused him all the pain and suffering, and go somewhere else. It's a little bit of like a refresh kind of, but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
So who you going to go 450s?
I'm going to go Jason Anderson.
Jason Anderson hasn't won an
He's
overall.
never won an overall, but
Outdoors.
I think he wins round 1
And you
this
think
year.
he's going to win?
Yeah, because I think
Supercross and motocross, 2 different things.
I've been hearing so many good things from my inside sources that he is flying out there right now.
Flying at the test track.
He's flying at the test track. But the thing is I think that Jason Anderson is going to win round 1, riding the high from Supercross, and I think he's going to take round 1 win. And I think he's going to be in it this year, especially before we head to High Point.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to be really good on the west side. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we come to the east side, he might be a tick back.
See, it's like the whole thing. So everybody that has a good motocross season is always expected to be really good at Supercross. And whoever has a good Supercross season is expected to have a good motocross. And I think that's total BS, because Dylan Ferrandez was awesome outdoors last year. No one could touch him.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he's going to win the Supercross championship. What did he do? Nothing.
Cooper Webb,
same thing. Awesome at Supercross, came out. Now he's only like, I don't even want to do outdoors.
Okay, but both of these guys that you're referring to are also champions. Jason didn't win the championship this year.
No, but
so he's still hungry.
He's hungry, but I'm telling you, it's a totally different ball game, totally different mindset. I mean, most likely he'll get what is it, like height sickness or whatever at Colorado? What's it called again? I can't remember what it is. It's slipping my brain. You're laughing at me right now.
I know.
No, that's funny. I can't even remember what it's called. Altitude sickness.
Altitude.
That's right. Sorry, height something whatever.
He's too tall. He's too tall.
But anyways, altitude sickness. It came to me finally, and you can't have that in outdoors. You know what I mean? You can't have that in a championship. But I'm going Dylan Ferrandez. Everybody's covered him up. Unless Eli Tomac and Chase Sexton can pull it together for the Americans this year, with I don't know if they can hear that in the background, but with Cairoli, Ferrandez, and Kenny Roxon back, if he's any kind of health, I don't almost see an American on the podium unless it's Chase Sexton or Eli Tomac.
That dog. No, I think I'm concerned about Eli's knee.
Right. He said he's 90% right now.
But I don't know. No. Who you think's going to win the first race?
Oh, Dylan Ferrandez. Calling it.
Oh, you just said that. I'm sorry. This dog's distracting me.
Distracting.
Braden, it's been a good show.
You ready? Yeah.
Let's get out of here. It's been a good show. Thank you guys for listening. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Josh Strang, for coming on the show. Awesome sponsors, as always. Brandon, go ahead and read us down through that list.
Yeah, guys. Guts Racing, guys. Support them. We've seen a lot of support at the GNCCs. I don't know if it's from us or if Guts products are just that awesome that everybody else has already been using them. But it's awesome to see. Get over there and hit them up. That's what I run. That's what Rodney runs.
It's from us.
And
it's from us.
It looks sick on your bike, man. It just looks so sick. Seal savers, guys. Save your seals. Save the money. That's what I do. Anything about a racer, we all need to save money right now with everything going on.
Gas prices.
Right, gas prices. Save your palms.
We should start giving away gas cards.
This gas card. People probably start playing.
I know.
People don't even know about us. Like, gas cards? Okay, we're going to play. Go over and support Soul Savers, guys. 25% off the code SPLIT, capital S, SPLIT line. On all your final purchase. Sunstar Chain Sprockets, guys. There they are. They're awesome. They're reliable. I think I was talking to Doug Hurt. Maybe one chain break in like the last 15 years that he knows of from a pro rider. So that's awesome. So if that's reliability is what you're looking for, and performance, go hook it up chain and sprockets from Sunstar. Split line 30, save 30%. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a big discount, guys.
Yeah.
30%. And then XC gear, guys, go save some arm pump. You want to have a smoother ride on that last hour or 3-hour race if you're doing it, or even just a sprint lap. Get a little choppy, and some software. So get over there and head up. Lance is a really awesome guy. He's really cool. So help run their product. And then, guys, go if you're ever in West Virginia. You're in for a race. Mountain State Hare Scramble. The whole music's messing me up. Not really. The commercial. If you're ever around, Mountain State Hare Scramble puts on one of the best races, the best shows for racing. Bikes on Saturday, quads on Sunday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Unique
awesome
schedule
event.
there. Yeah, unique schedule there.
Yes. So it's really cool. It's really awesome. And that's where we race when we race some locals.
Absolutely, guys.
And soon to be some split line. I don't have my split line shirt on.
Split line T-shirts.
Oh my Jesus, we both don't have one on.
Split line T-shirts will be at the Mountain State Hare Scrambles soon.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check those out. Make sure you guys also check out our logo,
right?
Because we are now co-sponsoring them as they sponsor us. So we appreciate it. We appreciate everybody over there. We appreciate all these sponsors. Josh Strang, we appreciate him for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Been a good show.
Yeah.
Episode 77.
Peace.
Later.
Do you see the spark? Do you feel the fire inside me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat take you over? You just can't breathe. Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Does the bones take you